I am here grounding. I want to bring some grounding to you, celestial earth here, sitting in the essence of the celestials and bringing what I can into the earth, grounding. And while I'm sitting here earthing, like the wind is blowing, I'm sitting out here literally in my robe because I know y'all used to seeing me in the sun, but the Florida sun is not sunny right now. So I'm just going to share what's been coming up as I've been sitting here with my little tea, my lime water, and these, what do you call this? Like an overcast. And the wind has just been howling. The leaves have been ruffling to the point where it sounds like rain from the inside. You have to look outside and be like, is it raining? No. The wind is winding. That means the codes, the ancestors in the wind, the wisdom in the wind is being passed through our ethos, the etheric realm, the atmosphere, the stratosphere, the geosphere. Like the winds are howling. And it's been happening for the past 2 days. So as I sat out here and I'm just sharing this grounding with you as it comes, ooh, look, a little bit of sun. And I think this is the most that I felt tears come to my eyes, sitting out here. Greetings, peace, love, and light. Like heavier. I've never felt it this heavy. And it's apparent as I'm sitting with it and I'm just allowing it to flush through because, of course, I'm barefoot in the ground, feeling the earth. And I feel like two types of tears being shed. Usually, as I sit out here, that's when I feel like, okay, you're plugged in. Like Bluetooth connected type of feeling. Connected because I'll feel the tears. It's like once I'm connected, instantly I feel the tears coming. And like I said, it's grief. It's grief, the world, the earth. There is a grief because there is a major loss, because this is a major pivotal point in the timeline shifting, the bifurcation that is happening, this great purification process that we're in as 3i Atlas approaches Earth. Like it's like the countdown or the count up. And there's so much loss, and it's not to be said for devastation, although a lot may be experiencing devastation, which is only the precursor to enlightenment and illumination. But the two types of tears, as I'm asking Spirit, what is this heaviness? And it feels like a split even in the tears. One are tears of joy, like there's this awakening, and I guess some of you are, I know some of you are feeling it. There's tears of joy that we're on the precipice of this dawning of the new awakening, that there is something, whether we know what it is or not, there's a bit of excitement, joy, like tears that bring you to joy of what we are beholding, what is really unraveling, what are we heading towards as we're embodying and embracing new earth 5D consciousness, feeling the fifth density light, the higher frequencies. Like there's so many words that I can give it, but we're feeling the dawn. We're breaking the dawn of this awakening, right? Because this awakening has been awakening since like around 2020. That's really been the break, the birth of it all. And so we're like a little bit past the dawn. Like we're breaking light, if that makes sense. And that's what is so joyful and fearful at the same time, because a lot of us know, and even as spiritual higher ups, I call us the spiritual elites, we know what is approaching. At the same time, it's still a little fear for what we're leaving behind. And even though some may say, yeah, I'm ready to leave this and jump into the new world, a lot of times we're not ready to leave certain things that we have been attached to. Ooh, I feel the heaviness back with those tears. Okay, so that's the second set of tears. Now, the other tears is that fearfulness, the feeling of what we're leaving behind, the loss of it, the sadness of it, the processing of it, because we have to process it through our pain bodies. We have to process it through our human connection. You know, our human that we're in, our finite existence has to process this infinite pouring in of light. Ashe. Hi, peace, love, and light. Whoever's coming in and passing through. And I'm saying all that whoever gets it, we realize that there's a responsibility that comes with this awakening, right? You can hear the squirrels. That's the squirrels, my 5D creatures. They're just out here being frisky and calling out. Like, this is a call out. To those of you who are aware of the awakening, this is a call out. This is a call to action. The earth is calling you. The ethers are calling you. Your higher self is calling you. And yes, there's going to be tears. Some of us are going to feel all types of confusion, like, why am I feeling this? What am I doing here? And this is why the sacral chakra is really important. The workshop that I was doing, which I postponed, so I'll give you all a heads up on that one. More likely it's going to be 2 weekends after this, as I prepare for the Chakra Moon workshop, which starts in 2 days. And I highly suggest anyone who is feeling any of these feelings and need to alchemize, need to transmute. We have the full moon that is really going to be helping us, the luminosity of the full moon that is going to help us. And this is the last full moon before Three Eye Atlas comes the closest to Earth, before it brings what it has been gathering through our personal planets of Mars, the maturation of Mars, the maturation of Venus, which is the maturation of assertiveness of Mars, war, study war no more, meaning we are to do things very differently. If we really got the message and the codes that we're unlocking, the dormant codes were to highlight to us, we don't have to do primitive warfare. We don't have to fight back with vengeance. This war is a war of wisdom. So much wisdom that you can't even really consider it war. It is to take a stance, and the wind picks up. It's to take a stance in what you are aware of with the new frequencies. It's to do something different, which is sometimes to do nothing at all, rather than to fight to try to find what you can do. A lot of times our wisdom is going to be to discontinue a lot of our behaviors, to discontinue a lot of our patterns. This is revolutionary, to be able to come out of nostalgia, to come out of habits. That is the revolutionary stance. That is the Uranus in the Uranus that is in retrograde in what sign is that again? Taurus, which is the materials, the things in this earth. The Uranus is saying, break it up, break it up. It's time for revolutionary revolt, which means you're not rebelling. You're not really revolting. However, you are taking a stance. You are standing firmly for something in the truth that you know, and you're owning it, showing it, experiencing it, living something different. Dare to do something different in your expressions. And this is what's really being called of us in doing something different. So we're, and in the midst of it all, we're feeling the loss, processing the emotions, getting into your sacral chakra, your emotional body. So look out for when I do that 2 weekends ahead. 2 weekends ahead from here, we're going to do that 3-day workshop. It was supposed to be this weekend. I'm being honest with you all. It was I want to call it an extraction week this week. After doing the detox, yes, gaining so much clarity in why we're losing support, why as we're losing people around us, it feels like abandonment, it feels like rejection, it feels like a lot of mistreatment, misunderstanding, but for the good. And it is to extract us. Like I've mentioned it before, we're being suctioned out of the matrix. We're being extracted. There's an extraction happening in your soul. What no longer serves you is being extracted and suctioned out, so that you are a part of the purification process in this bifurcation, in this splitting. And I'm going to do a video about this bifurcation where we kind of look into it a little bit deeper, that understanding that the split doesn't mean separation. It's not to be mistaken for the illusion of separation. Yes, there is some separating that has to happen in order for you to empty your vessel and be a vessel of taking in more light, an open vessel that is really receiving the light. In order to do so, we have to remove the resistance, the old ways of thinking, being, existing, the things we may want to hold on to. Straddling the fence is not going to work. So for a lot who are coming into this awakening yet still holding on to doing the same things in the institution, in the system, there is a rewiring, there's a reconstructing, there's a rewiring, and there's something that has to be done on your end during this very pivotal time. And it all starts in the mind. Everything starts in the mind. This is why they say the revolution will not be televised, because the revolutionary step that has to take place is in the mind, in the consciousness, in the soul. No one sees it but you. No one sees your revolutionary step. And that is untelevised until it is expressed, until you have actualized it in your heart, and then it is expressed in your doing, in your being. And so I call to those who this resonates with, if this is for you, if you know someone going through it, to share with, so someone can get that message, know what to do. You may be struggling with something. It's like, oh, I haven't released something. You know, there are things that are happening with us, and we have to realize that we have to let go of how we've been holding it. I myself had to face that this week. This is why this week was such an extractional week. It's like you got the clarity. Now what are you going to do with it? Now what is that feeling saying to you as it passes through? The hurt, the disappointments, all that has been brought to you live and direct. And the wind picks up. All that has been brought to you, what is unfolding in your soul, right? I do not get the tears, and I do get the confusion. I think that says confusion with the fear. Yes, confusion with the fear. The tears brings through the confusion with the fears as well. It's a confusion of what's happening as we're extracting, as we're coming apart. We're literally coming apart within ourselves as the soul is having this extraction, excavation process going on, right? And welcoming, let me see, it makes me feel like I do not want to be here and not want to remember who I am. And those are valid feelings. A lot of us are feeling like, what did I get into? What am I doing? Those are some of the feelings I have even been going through this week. Why am I doing this? What is the point? Because we see that people are still peopling, and the earth is still, earthing. It's not going to be perfect because because a lot of us can see this new earth approaching. It doesn't mean things are just going to fall into place. So yes, we're still part of the process. The more we process, the more we help the earth in its planetary ascension of this entire process, because we're all conduits of the light. So we have to process what is actually happening. The contrast brings clarity. Although it feels annoying, it feels antagonizing, it feels anti what you are really wanting to do, but we have to extract that. We have to feel it so we can extract it, so it can be revealed onto us. So it's an upgrading for us all. And it does feel like, man, I don't really want to deal with this right now, because it's so much. So we're being called into our higher self in ways that are not like what we think. We have to throw away what you think, how you think it's going to look, because what we're not seeing, what's in the blind spot, is the things that we need to release, the way that we hold on to things. You know, we may have been learning through these experiences, oh, we need to not do that, or we need to not. We're seeing people and places for who they are, what they are. You're seeing the government. A lot of people are waking up to that right now. Politics, environmental tactics, everything, everything. And the earth is erupting in many places, literally and figuratively, esoterically, most importantly. And what it's saying, as it is reflecting what we are, is that the pipes are bursting. The energy needs to move. Energy in motion. Emotions are moving, and this is the sacral. And the wind picks up again. This is the emotional body of the planet. And so the volcanoes are erupting, the earthquakes are quaking. Um, there are different things that are happening in the earth because there's different things happening in us. Right? The volcanoes in us are erupting. The earthquakes are quaking. We are shaking. The foundations are literally being shook. And many of you maybe felt the intensity of that on, I believe, Monday. It was like the day when Venus and Mercury were both at 22 degrees of Scorpio, right? This is that overlay of Scorpio energy I had been talking about, the scorpionic energies, the deep-seated emotions that are coming up from the depths. And it's how we are seeing our finances, relationships, that's Venus, and the communication. How have we been communicating with it? How has the communication been with us in our own mind? The information and the messages that we needed to be brought to us. And so remember, Mercury was in retrograde, just came out today, just heading direct today. Mercury was in retrograde at that time at 22 degrees. 22 is that master builder. And I say all this because it was brought to my attention about the foundation of it. 2 and 2 is 4, so it's foundational. It's a foundational balance. And so thinking of both of them being at 22 degrees, master builder, building. And remember, the master builder is what helps create. When we harmonize 2, eventually we get to creation, we get to 3. And so we're seeing this harmony that's happening. You know, Venus moving forward at 22 degrees of Scorpio while Mercury is moving backwards. So it's like Mercury is bringing something to meet up with Venus. It's bringing information. It's bringing something that we needed to hear. We needed to know. We needed to see, even though it may have hurt. And now the process of it is simply processing the hurt, grounding, allowing it to flow through you, opening the valves, and letting that energy move through you. Tears of confusion, the fear that you feel when losing, when you see that something is falling away. Because as we see that horizon, that's what's happening. We're seeing the breaking of the light. We're seeing the horizon of the new earth within this bifurcation. And the split really feels real. It becomes more of a reality. And although it's exciting, at the same time, it's like, oh my God, I gotta let this go. It is a reality that hits in a way that a lot of us are missing that point right there. So we have to bring ourselves to stability, harmonizing, to humility, through humility, to really settle in our souls the truth that we are to behold. What is in our souls that are here to unfold. This is the grace. This is a truth that is setting us free into true liberation. But how many can handle it? And it takes a process. Ashe, ashe. I'm feeling the parts of me that I have abandoned and welcoming those parts that can be challenging as the demon or slash wounds resist. Internal and external, yes. And those demons, as we say, are the wounds. So, and that's a good affirmation to have. I'm feeling the parts of me that I have abandoned, and watching those parts can be challenging. So that's something to note to self. A lot of us are feeling that. That's the tears, that's the grief, those parts of you that you have abandoned, that is being reflected back to you, that must be abandoned. That's what the universe is saying to you. You've abandoned this. Now it must be abandoned. Stop holding on to it. Stop holding on to it in the pain body. It's time to release. Lean in, relax, relate, release. And so I share that with you. Ashe, ashe. Like I said, it's double tears, tears of joy, tears of fears, double tears in the confusion of all the fears. It's even fearful to see that joy, because it's like, what's approaching? You know, it's exciting and fearful at the same time. We must balance these emotions, these energies, emotions. So again, I'll do a video. There's a video I need to do updating. Thank you for all of you who have been giving. Please continue to give. The next family is waiting, so I can utilize any giving whatsoever. Anyone who signs up for the retreat, all proceeds are going to those donations for Jamaica still. So the retreat begins Monday. In just 2 days, we'll have our 7-day, not retreat, sorry, the workshop, our 7-day Divine Chakra Moon workshop. And this is really going to help us to transmute those fears, these said fears that we're talking about, to transmute that and remove the confusion, to have peace, clarity, and understanding in the waiting room, in the arrival of this dawning of a new era, or the awakening, the breaking of the light. So look out for that. Look out for the new dates for the sacral workshop. And I would say I strongly suggest I'm inviting you, but I strongly suggest signing up for it. You can email me at akilatextry@gmail.com and get you any more information. And helping us to transmute is very pivotal. And so if you want to be a part of your own soul's unfoldment and playing an active part, because you're already a part of it, but playing an active part, this is the next step. This is the next level that I can offer, as I'm still extracting and I'm pulling myself through that, because as I said, I'm feeling these as well, and ready to, go into a space of hibernation. As the respiriting winter season approaches, I'm so ready to hibernate. However, I'm doing what is highlighted and shown to me right now. So if any of you have been with me any of this time, all of this time, like, subscribe, share as usual to get the algorithms going, get it to who it needs to, because this is an opportunity that a lot of us can use before the solstice, before 3i Atlas approaches Earth. It is definitely bringing and unlocking the fullness and the clarity of the codes, the earth magic that is opening and erupting right now. Ashe. That said, love you all. Enjoy. Love and light.